So I'll hand it over to you, Derek, to introduce our Conservation Leadership Awards.
Great, thanks, Juliet. Well, this is a really fun time for KCP. It's a chance for the partnership to really recognize individuals who have demonstrated leadership, innovation, dedication to conservation in the Kootenay region. Nominees have to be from a KCP partner organization, but our nominations come forward from our partnership. And so it's from all of you who you recognize within your organizations or people you've worked with that are really leaders in conservation within the region. And the award recipients, we have one for the East and one for the West Kootenays. The final selection is made by the KCP board and based upon an evaluation of the nominees relative to their demonstration of leadership, the level of impact to conservation in the Kootenays, and the extent of partnerships the individual has fostered. And so for this year, I want to turn it over to two of our recipient nominators to introduce our award winners. And first I'll go to Ira Anderson to introduce our Wes Kootenay recipient.
Hi, thank you, Derek. It's my pleasure to introduce our Wes Kootenay recipient, who is my close friend and mentor, Valerie Huff. She's in the field today, so I'm here to talk a little bit why she is a deserving recipient of this award. So Valerie is a plant lover and a budding entomologist. She's been a restoration botanist here in the West Kootenays for over 15 years. In 2012, she founded the Kootenay Native Plant Society. Since that time, she's remained a director and a huge vision and driving force behind the organization. The one board member who is always there to get things done and push it forward. Some of her focal species and projects that she's worked on over this period have been plants, including milkweed and common camas. Some of the most notable projects over the years have been the Taste of the Wild Camas Dinner in Nelson in 2018, which was a fundraising and outreach and education event for camas conservation. She works with the Regional District of Central Kootenay and the City of Castlegar and camas conservation at the confluence of the Columbia and Kootenay rivers, which is sort of the heart center of historical camas cultivation here in the Kootenays. And along with Brenda Beckwith, she and the City of Castlegar, she established the first camas conservation area at Millennium Park in Castlegar in 2015. Many projects, many collaborations. She's did in 2019 began the Wildflowers for Pollinators project, which has empowered various landowners throughout the whole length of the main body of Kootenay Lake to build their own wildflower meadows for pollinators and to help monitor the results. And the biggest project to date that Valerie has spearheaded, that we're just initiating and getting going on right now, is the Pollination Pathways Climate Adaptation Initiative. This is an ecosystem enhancement project funded by the Columbia Basin Trust, but Valerie has grown it and built partnerships with over 30 organizations. She's also our staff coordinator, and this summer she supervised two staff, two summer students, and a master's student who were working on pollinator research, restoration, conservation on over 13 sites throughout the project region. She's also on the board of the BC Native Bee Society, and that's sort of where her interest is going next. She's an excellent naturalist and a fun person to be in the field with. I think everyone who knows her knows that she's an absolutely deserving recipient of this award. So thank you so much for honoring her with the Leadership Award.
Thank you so much, Ira, for nominating her. I'm just going to jump in to show this this screenshot of this incredible photo and recognize Tyson Ehlers for donating the use of this photo for this award of the pygmy bee fly.
Great, thanks, Juliet, and thanks again, Ira, for both the nomination and for presenting the words. Obviously, Valerie's a very worthy recipient and meets the high standards we've come to know in those recipients of our Conservation Leadership Awards for KCP. Next, I want to turn to, and I think we still have Jerry Wilkie via video to introduce our Wes Kootenay recipient.
This is Jerry Wilkie speaking. I'm very, very pleased today to talk about my very good friend and friend of the conservation movement, Mr. Rick Hoar. We are very fortunate that Rick chose to retire in the East Kootenay. After more than 30 years as a BC conservation officer, specializing in habitat protection, Rick chose to retire in Invermere in 2008. Living and working in the area, in this his final posting, he saw the mounting development pressure on the region from resource extraction, tourism, and burgeoning outdoor recreation pursuits, mainly because of the proximity of the city of Calgary, the huge population of the city of Calgary coming to the Columbia Valley, and rightly so in a way. Upon retirement, he threw himself into a second career as an ardent conservationist, working with the Lake Windermere District Rod and Gun Club to begin with, and using his knowledge of government policies and procedures, he has had a strong continuing influence on their constructive comments on Crown land use policies and planning, and advocating for and working on habitat protection and ecosystem restoration at both the regional and provincial level. He also became a central figure in the quest to establish a recreational access management plan in the Valley region. The Columbia Valley is the only area in the East Kootenay without a plan to guide and regulate outdoor recreation. And after more than 15 years, that process is finally underway, and Rick was a big part in holding the group together with continuity and getting this thing underway. Yeah, Rick has been spearheading the establishment of a community forest in the valley, and while this endeavor has not yet received ministerial approval, it is in the works and will return socioeconomic and environmental control over the designated forest to the local valley community. As one of the mainstays on the executive of the Columbia Wetlands Stewardship Partners, his environmental knowledge has been invaluable in instigating strategic planning and projects aimed at sustaining the hydrological dynamism and the immense biodiversity of this world-renowned biophysical paradise. As a strong member on the boards of the Lake Windermere District Rod and Gun Club, the Kootenay Conservation Program, and Columbia Wetland Stewardship Partners, you will appreciate that one day you will find him working on the phone or at meetings with the government officials. Another day, you might find him wrestling basking logs into ponds for painted turtles, or restoring spawning habitat on local creeks, or pounding in nest boxes for wood ducks, or thinning ingrowth on ungulate winter range. Through the sheer force of his knowledge, energy, and determination, Rick has had a huge influence on conservation in the region, and I am very pleased to participate in acknowledging and honoring the achievements of this remarkable conservationist.
And I'll just share the photo. I don't know what happened to the rest of it, but the photo donated by Pat Morrow of the Columbia Wetlands is the award for Rick Hoar.
Great, thanks, and certainly congratulations to you, Rick, and to both of our recipients for this year's KCP Conservation Leadership Awards.